Happy Carnival, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. Today, we sneak a little bit outside of the usual carnival season, and tonight we hear about two very special crews from Michael with the crew of Krampus and the crew of Swampus. Good evening.
How you doing?
Doing good.
So yeah, I wanted to, you mentioned the two. Swampus just sort of came about as like, we have fun with playing with the dark side of things, and Halloween felt like there was an opening there. So crew of Krampus decided our alter ego would be Swampus. Like, why not, right? So that's where this whole Halloween thing with Swampus Returns has come around. It's not really a separate crew, but it's sort of our chance to try a little something different, throw on a little different costume and have fun for Halloween.
Yeah. So I know that y'all, something that's real special with Swampus is y'all have a skull search.
Oh yeah,
like a
so
scavenger hunt?
we try to. So Swampus, I'll start from the beginning of where it kind of came from. So the idea of Swampus, in my head, because Krampus, for those who don't know, Krampus is this wintertime scary beast that goes around St. Nicholas in the Alps of Europe and basically punishes the bad kids. So everything that we do is sort of has this little, you better be good kind of thing, someone's watching you. But because it's this wintertime Alps in the snow, it's like, why would we have Krampus in New Orleans? So we came up with this story of Krampus chasing this bad kid Fritz, and Fritz always was getting out of his grasp, and he ended up chasing him all the way to New Orleans, and he ended up in the swamp, and he crawled out years and years later as Swampus. So that's how Swampus came to be. So what we've done is we've created all kinds of things going through Halloween. That we have the scavenger hunt, which is what you're talking about, where we decorate. Everybody in the crew gets 1, 2, 3 skulls, however much you want to do. We usually have 2 or 3 of them going out every day throughout the month of October, and they're all decorated so they end up in displays like this. And then what we do is put clues up on a Facebook group page, and people are waiting for the clues to pop up. They read the clues, and then they have to go find them, and then they're there for the finding.
It was sort of like I don't know, during COVID when everybody was doing the scavenger hunts on their parade night, you couldn't do, the normal parade, so everybody was just playing stuff around town.
Well, that's what this started, and I think, I'd like to think that maybe we kicked it off because we did this because of COVID, and we thought, hey, this would be a great way people go outside on their own, be away from other people and look for it, and have fun, just without, how do you get out? You remember how it was. Everybody was down in rooms, so everybody needed to get outside. So that's why it came about and started doing it. And everyone, every year, are we going to do it again? Are we going to do it again? So we just kept doing it. So
that was, I guess, the year of my first introduction to you guys was I did the drive-through parade.
Yep.
And so that was, I was like, oh, good, we get something,
Yeah. Well, that's what, when COVID hit, because, right, we did Mardi Gras, and then it kind of hit us all.
Yeah.
And when it got to our turn to do our parade, the Krampus parade, we're like, let's not cancel. We got to figure something out. So we have a lot of smart people in our group, and we worked with the city on a plan on how to do something safely, with spacing and things like that. And that's how we came up with the drive-through.
And it made sense. And the other thing we had that year was the city park thing. So it was that was how we were doing Mardi Gras that year.
Yeah. But it's interesting. What we learned by doing that is there's a whole audience that gets to come to a parade, I'll call it, that can't go to a regular parade, but because they can be driven.
Oh, that's true.
And
people who are elderly or
just any mobility issues. We also found that there was a lot of kids with autism that have sensory issues with being in crowds or loud noises and stuff. We got email after email after we did that first drive-through thanking us for, hey, this is great. I haven't been to a parade, I can't walk, whatever, and this is great. So we decided this, that's why we do the Halloween one as a drive-through still,
Okay.
because of that. And then the Krampus parade, that's why I don't know if you saw last year, we did the accessibility road.
Yeah.
We thought, we can't learn this and then unlearn it and ignore those people, we have to do something about it. So that's what we did, is figure out, how can we do this on a street route? We figured that out, so.
Yeah, that was fun, and, you know, I like that all the marching crews were friends with a lot of these groups, and
Mhm.
they had all dressed up, you know, to be in the spirit of what you guys were doing. I don't know, it was a fun, it needed to be done, and it was good that y'all did it.
Thank you. Yeah, I love our crowd. Everyone gets so into it. You can't even tell sometimes, it just blends, you know, from the parade into the crowd, which is, I'll save it for next time we talk, because I got an idea about that, blending the crowd into the parade for our Krampus parade. We try to do something different. We try to push the limits with everything that we do. And this year we've got a couple of things up our sleeve for December, so it should be fun.
Do y'all do a particular theme every year, or is it sort of a running theme?
So with Krampus, it's mainly a running theme. This year we are going to expand a little bit on the storyline, and that's a little hint at what we're going to do that I just talked about, and kind of tell more of a story from start to finish through the parade. But still, it'll be an alpine type theme. With Swampus, we're talking about going more into, like this year we've had a bunch of crews that wanted to join along that are Chewbacca's, and Darth AF.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's kid safe to say on your podcast or not, but they're going to be in it, and along with some other crews that are more space oriented. So we're going to have a space swamp section of Swampus parade this year. So
cool.
And then maybe next year we're going to explore some different themes and do that where we can get some more crews. And, yeah.
What was the first year that y'all formed?
So we formed in 2015. We kind of did an underground parade 2016, and in 2017 we finally, you know, did the permits and the whole bit. So 2016, 2017 I'd say is our real start.
Okay.
An official parade.
And what y'all's route gonna be?
What's that?
What is the route?
Oh, the route. We're going to go back to our start in Bywater and kind of keep it there. We explored some things last year with maybe getting into past Semarity, maybe a little bit into the French Quarter. Police, remember all that was like, so they squashed that idea. So we're like, we're fine. You know, and everybody in the Bywater was just like, please, keep your route here. So we kind of like being in the neighborhood of, you know, the houses being there a little more than just all businesses, or,
Yeah.
you know, and which has been kind of fun because the people in the houses are getting into it now.
Right. Yeah. It's you know, that's one of the things that we've said for a while is how cool it is with that neighborhood parade becoming the, for lack of better words, the hip thing to do now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it does make it to where, you know, like you're saying, the neighborhood becomes more involved to where, you know, they're having, you know, little hosting parties for
Yep.
people to come over and enjoy the parade, and you know, it has that old feel to where, you know, as much as I like all the parades being on that one main route, you know, with carnival season, it's you know, I do wish that we were back in the times where truly there was like 10 different parade routes, you know.
And plus, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Mid-City to be uptown
Yeah.
and Carrollton to be on St. Charles, but whatever, you know, I get it for logistical reasons. But,
Yeah.
but that's how they all started back in the days. Everybody had a neighborhood parade. And, you know, we had talked about it a couple times with, you know, problems with attendance now where it's just so massive because everybody's at the same spot.
Yep.
But those neighborhood routes always had all the neighbors, you would form your little traditions with it, you know, so You know, I remember when I was a kid, we would go out, and we would always be on the same person's lawn that we didn't know, but through the years, we
Got to
you know,
know.
we got to know 'em, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do miss the kind of neighborhood life, but you know, not to knock how they do it now, but it was just a different feel.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're all fun, right? And we're just trying to do, not to do it different, just to do it different. We're just trying to do some things that fit for what we're trying not to necessarily just fit because we need to fit. We're trying to do what makes it us and what makes it fit. But it was interesting because when we did our first parade, I heard from all these people that grew up here, old timers and stuff. Oh, man, this is just like the old days, and even from stories I've heard from way back, that kind of that the parades were like more like this, and they really enjoyed it that way. So it's funny because with a theme like Krampus, at first, it took a little while. There's people that knew about it and they, oh hey, I'll go to a Krampus parade. But now it feels like they realize that it's not just this scary thing, that it's a creative experience to come out and enjoy, and people seem to really grasp onto it.
It feels like all the five water parades sort of have a similar feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, sort of handmade art sort of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but they all have that. Everybody gets to be their own character sort of thing. It's become sort of a trademark of the five water parades. Think about red bean, dead bean,
Fragile.
Yeah, fragile. Chewbox is massive now, but I mean that was sort of their origin as well.
Yeah.
So, what kind of throws can we expect to see in parades?
So, with Swampus, we have, because we do the drive-through, we have safety reasons and things. What we do is just the VIPs get a throw bag. So all the crews that are in that I just keep calling it parade, in that drive-through parade, all we gathered up, and so they get these big tote bags full of throws. I'm not sure what the other crews are doing. We're doing everything from some little miniature Swampus characters in the little dioramas that are in jars, and the usual stickers and things like that. But then, and a lot of eyeballs. So our kind of
I've noticed the big eyeball.
That's the Swampus Evil Eye.
Yeah.
So the Swampus Evil Eye will be definitely in the bag, in the VIP bag. But then I have to get you one because you don't have a lump of coal. Because the Krampus parade, our thing is a lump of coal. Because if you're a bad kid, you're gonna
Right.
I was trying to remember what I got. I don't think I got a lump of coal.
Did you? Lump of coal. So the 3 original troops. So we have in Krampus, we have the different troops where we have Krampus. We have Saint Nicholas, which is our sort of like our royalty, which we invite someone each year to be the Saint Nicholas. Then we have the Sisters of everyone's starting to learn what that is. And then we have the Yules, which is a group of people that celebrate all kinds of customs from anywhere around the world that have to do with Yule or winter solstice or just winter in general, Christmas. And then we've kind of started adding some troops to it, but there's 3 original ones still hand out the lumps of coal. We each get 12 and we decorate them and they come in little cool bags. We're slowly doing things like first year we had them in little plastic bags, and we're like, why are we putting them in plastic bags? We should put them in burlap and decorate the burlap and do less, because we did the coal because of the less plastic. Why are we putting it in plastic? So each time we just tried to make little steps. This year we're doing, I don't know if you saw, we've been doing a lot of projects with glass half full and the recycled glass.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to have some recycle bins that you can bring glass, and we will turn those into throws the next year.
Oh, awesome.
Which would be really cool. So this year we'll have some that we've worked with glass that they've given us. We figured out how to use it in a couple of different things. We invented a thing called Krampus clay, where you can mix the glass with some other things. I'll share the recipe with you if you want. And it becomes like this, like a Play-Doh almost, but then it air dries rock hard. And so we're going to make throws out of that. There's, what else we do? All kinds of, all hand done. You know,
Yeah.
little pieces of art.
Y'all have been doing that, then I don't recall you ever throwing
No,
like beads or
we
anything
started,
like that, right?
Right.
started 100% with, I think the closest we ever got was the first year we had cups.
Oh, yeah, but that's still something you use.
Yeah, but
you know, that's not a single use item.
But we were like, yeah, let's just go all in and just go with all in. Because everybody that joins, even the folks that come in and say, well, I'm not that creative, walk out by the end of the year saying, I feel really creative, you know, because they're just around everybody. We're always making stuff.
Yeah, I've been committed the past few years to only doing, like, we were out a couple of parades, so I'm only throwing glass beads because I'm gonna throw a lot less than I normally would. None of it's gonna hit the ground. All of it's gonna go home with somebody and hopefully they wear it.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's hard to do with a long parade though, just to do,
Yes.
not buy a crate of plastic beads because they'll last you a mile, you know,
Right.
where.
And like, sorry.
Yeah.
All out. But glass half full, we were experimenting with some things to maybe make some beads with the recycled glass. I think they're doing it, but we want to figure out for ourselves like how we could use some cast glass that maybe a little different. Again, it's
Yeah,
easier
add a
for
little
us.
bit of originality
Yeah.
to.
It's easier for us, like you
Yeah.
said, you know, it's a short route,
Yeah.
and
Maybe I'll do something like an emblem on a pre-made glass bead, like doable, you know,
yeah.
with a little bowl.
So we always making different things. We have one of the fun things that we do. I don't know if you've seen these, but so you know how Krampus beats the kids with a switch,
Right, yeah.
with a stick. So we'll make little mini ones of the birch switches. It's a little bundle of sticks. We'll tie it, paint them a little bit, glitter, of course, because you gotta have glitter. And I'll tell you, because we have Sam from Pixie Dust biodegradable glitter.
All right.
Is in our crew, and we're switching over to all biodegradable glitter.
I didn't realize, I saw his ad up there, I didn't realize it was all biodegradable.
Yeah, it's
I could have used that
like a
in my house.
eucalyptus. I think it's made from the eucalyptus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, we're using that. So you put some of that on and some bells and things like that, and you make them, and you put a little tag on it that says Krampus is watching. And we'll take those. We don't give those out during our parade. We give those out during other parades. So people are just look at us like, what? What's this? And then it's like Krampus is watching. So you just remember that come December, you know, you better be good.
It's almost like the, do the lack of better words, the Jesus people that are in the quarter that are like, you're going to hell, you're going to hell.
Yeah, same
Krampus
thing.
is watching.
Krampus is watching. Yeah, same thing.
Have y'all ever, like, been a group in a parade? I feel like I remember y'all marching with it.
Yeah, and the one Halloween time we did, and we quickly learned that one is way too hot, even in October, to wear fursuits. So that was like,
Okay, I thought I
One hour
remember
out.
y'all marching with.
so we did that before, you know, it was kind of an introduction. And then we were just like, it didn't feel right. It just still felt like a big, mass-produced ordeal, and we were just a part of it, you know. And again, I think we think of ourselves more as street performers rather than a marching.
Yeah.
Because everything we think about the entire.
We all build like sets,
Yeah.
you know. It's not what you would think of as a traditional parade at all. It's almost like a drive-through play.
Yeah. Yeah. The drive-through,
You know?
which I'm surprised it hasn't. I'm hoping more and more crews want to join up for it, because that's the one thing. Our Krampus parade, we just have a few crews that helped us in the first year, kind of grandfathered in. The rest is they're all our crew. We don't necessarily like fill in gaps with different, because again, we want to tell a story, and if we have control over that story, it'd be weird to throw like the Elvi
Yeah.
in the middle of it. However, the Elvi are participating in the Swampus one, which is, you know, it's a little more fun. And what's cool about it is when I pitch it to these other crews, like, what would you do if you took Elvis, threw him in the swamp for 1,000 years, yanked him out? What would he look like? And that's basically what Swampus is. So that's any crew could do it, right? You just take your
Yeah.
theme, swampify it, and
Give yourself a black eye and come on.
yeah. But that's the fun, is like building those sets, you know, because the first year, because of COVID, we actually measured out 10-foot squares for everybody, because remember how strict it was?
Oh, yeah.
We had, you know, everyone had to be in individual boxes. You couldn't come out.
Yeah. I mean, y'all did it well. You could tell y'all were having to follow guidelines to a T, though, and like Big Brother was watching,
Yeah.
you know, making sure. But I mean, y'all did it nice and safe.
But now we're able to team up, so we'll have groups of 3 or maybe more. Usually, you know, 1 or 2 will team up and they'll create these great sets and then do these. Some people prefer to like interact with the cars as they come by. Some just do basically put on a performance, a rotating performance, and just ignore the cars. It just happens that you're like catching a glimpse of the, you know, of the story as you go by. So Crescent City Faye have done, the last couple of years, have done a really amazing job with this story, where, I forget the name of it, but it's basically an old Cajun, and where this light that goes through the swamps. And so they have this thing, as you drive by, the story moves with you in the car, and then when you're done, they quickly go back to the other end, or they have more people, and it just, each car kind of gets their own version of the story, and it basically walks you through the swamp, getting lost in the swamp, and then the light basically taking you, and the person disappears. But it's cool. It's a lot of fun to come out and see like each group, and like I said, this year you're gonna have Darth Vader, you know, like,
Right.
in the swamps of whatever planet. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I think there's a swamp in one of the not episodes, but
What?
I don't know it either. I'm looking at you for that answer.
you don't know either.
Well, there's
I don't know.
Dagobah, which is where
Yeah, there. That's
Swamp
nice.
Island, or the Swamp Planet.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
it. So that's part of the Swampus this year. Swampus return, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, trying to think. You mentioned about the scavenger hunt. We're talking to some different businesses that we're gonna do some really cool sculptures with the skulls and put them on display at these businesses, and then you can go in and you'll have to do some things to basically get a raffle to win the thing. So, and we're gonna be doing something with glass half full with that as well. So if you
Okay.
go and recycle some glass, you get in to win the half glass, half plaster skulls.
What are the dates of the parades?
So October 7th, which is coming up week and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
From where we're talking right now. October 7th, Saturday night, is Swampus Returns. And again, there's 12 or so. I'm still actually getting some crews saying, hey, can we still jump in? So I'm not sure how many we'll have by the time it's in, but I know we have 12 at least right now. And then the Krampus parade is December 2nd. It's always the first Saturday in December, which is closest to St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th, which is traditional for Krampus the night before St. Nicholas Day, the St. Krampus night.
Okay. Where can people follow the crew and learn more about it, or how they can participate?
Crew of Krampus, if you put it in Google, you'll find us, you know, our website, crewofkrampus.com. If you're on social media, whichever one you want, we're on there. Mostly Instagram, you know, we're heavy on that, and Facebook, of course. And we've started playing around with TikTok, but it's just tough keeping up with all of them. You know,
Right, yeah.
But we're
Yeah,
there
today,
for
this one, and this one are the
Yep.
top sites, and you go a year later,
And
and
they're
it's like, nobody uses that anymore.
That's the old people saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on it, you know?
But yeah, so if anybody, you know, if you're interested in wanting to, you know, be part of this fun, hit us up and we will talk to you. Because we could always use volunteers. At this point, it's probably too late to start building a Krampus costume for December. However, if you want to get involved with, you know how crews are, we always could use extra hands.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, even if it's someone who's just delivering water to
Yeah.
to portions of the crew or whatever.
Whatever, you know?
Yeah, because the more people we have, it'll be fun. Because we add things like giant puppets and stuff, and there's always room. You know, some always sit back at the start because we didn't have enough people, you know, to put them on. So, but the costumes, already seeing some of the new ones that folks are working on this year. It's going to be a good parade this year.
Do y'all do any kind of royalty in any aspect? That they may not be.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that. So St. Nicholas is what
Right.
we do as a sort of royalty, and it's an invited position. And the St. Nicholas comes and walks at the end of the parade, and Crescent City Fae are the guardians of St. Nick, and they guide him through. So after you see all the scary business, St. Nicholas comes through. And then what's kind of fun, this is getting bigger and bigger every year, the Marines come out with Toys for Tots. We usually have like a dozen or so, Marines that come out and gather. We have a whole float, trailer float that's just empty at the start. By the time it's done, it's just overflowing with toys. That
Awesome.
People bring the toys to the parade and throw them onto the float. So that's sort of, we end it with, goodwill.
Yeah. So, spectators, remember, to bring toys to the parade as well. I mean,
Yep.
help out that cause.
Y'all remember, I forgot y'all did that, but I remember we went to, Toys R Us was still open at the time.
Yeah.
And we went there just to get something to throw in there.
Oh, cool.
because we
Thank
knew
you.
what was happening.
Yeah, that's been fun working with Marines with that. They have no problem getting people to sign up to come work that night because word gets around quick with the Marines, and it's a fun night. So it's fun.
Yeah.
With you.
So thank you again. Folks, be sure to check them out. At both of their parades. Again, what are the dates?
Swampus returns Saturday, October 7th, and Krampus, the no-off parade is Saturday, December 2nd.
All right.
Excuse me. Saturday, December 2nd. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah. So we look forward to seeing y'all out there.
Bring a toy.
And don't forget to bring a toy. Signing out. We'll see you on the route. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to check out tonight's guests online. You can check them out at links all listed over here. Also, if you like us, you can support us. You go to our website, you can purchase our shirts and
These
couple
beautiful
other
things.
goodies that we have out there. And be sure to follow us online as well. The links are all over here. And while you're at it, be sure to click that subscribe button down there and the little bell to stay in touch on when we put out new content. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the route.